What is up, YouTube? It's King Devin 11 again. Pretty soon to be King Devin 13, actually. Turning 13 on Monday. Fun shit. Okay, well, anyways, I'm gonna be doing a lesson on how to scream today because I got pretty damn good in just a couple of weeks, and my screaming teacher guy is really impressed. So what I'm gonna run you through is how to form a scream, and the first thing I'm gonna tell you. You are not going to be able to scream after watching this video. You won't. It's like all the scream videos on YouTube. People like leave these hate comments like good video, but I still can't scream. Like we're not going to magically poof our powers out and let you scream. We're going to tell you how to scream and where it's coming from and what to do in order to get a scream, and walk you through how to get into it. And I'll demonstrate some shit, and like you should be able to pretty decently scream after a couple weeks of practicing. But all it is, like, a lot of getting it good, because everyone has their own unique, I don't have your throat, you don't have my lungs, so it's all different for you. And it's a lot of just, like, sitting there in a house by yourself, screaming as loud as you can until you can form it down into a scream. Like, so the way you form a scream is, the way you form a clean scream is going to be, like a pissed off sigh. And I know there's a guy on YouTube who does this really, like, I stole this from him, but I'm going to put this out there too, just so you have a better chance of learning this, in case you clicked on my video instead of his. But check his out too. I'll put it in my bar, which is actually now a bottom bar, so it should be down here, I think. Put the link in. Okay, so, it's like a pissed off sigh. Like, so you know you're sighing, just like, oh, I'm so sad. But then you're mad, you're like, oh, son of a bitch. Like that. So that's basically what it's kind of going to feel like. It's a lot more air. So, motherfucker. Like that, you know? And you're gonna kind of form it up as, I don't know, and try to bring it up. Like that. And so yeah, it's basically a form of a scream. A lot of tips. Tips. I know that was quick. You just learned how to scream. It's like a piercing. It's quick and fast. You don't feel it. You don't realize that you just learned how to scream, but you did. You know how to scream now. You just piss offedly sigh. More air, push from the stomach. Okay, look, this is your diaphragm here. Right? Actually, this is a six-pack in my case. Not to gloat. I guess you can't see it on the camera, huh? I see it with a webcam. But see, this is your diaphragm right here. Right here is your diaphragm. Like you're flexing. Like, so, you know, you're at the pool, right? You're like, hey, ladies, check out my abs. You know, you flex like that. That is how it's gonna feel when you're breathing from your diaphragm. So if you ever scream without your diaphragm, this is me trying to breathe from my throat. It's gonna sound like a pissed off Wolverine trying to eat you. Which, I mean, some people could like that, but whatever. This is what it sounds like when you push through your diaphragm, much more full. It's gonna be a little squeaky out first. Like, okay, so, have you ever heard, well, if you play Guitar Hero at all, you should have heard the song, God, I can't, oh, BYOB, System of a Down. You know the beginning? Like that. That's what your scream is gonna sound like out first. It's like it's like gonna be super sloppy. It's gonna have nothing. That's kind of what you're gonna sound like out first. So what I want you to do is don't do this accidentally, because yes, this is gonna hurt your lungs, or it's gonna hurt your vocal cords. So don't do this too much. But what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video right now if you're home alone, or people that don't. If you acknowledge the people around you. That you're going to be doing something, or do it into a pillow. I want you to just go and let out as much air as you can. Just, it's going to hurt, so don't do that a lot. Okay? That's how I learned. I learned by doing that, and I formed it. I worked from that down to clean. Okay? So take a pillow. I'll show you. It's going to be a lot more motion to a pillow. Okay? And just do that. As much air as you can get out. That's kind of what it's going to feel like. But it's not going to hurt your throat. You're only going to feel it in your chest. Maybe when higher, like the back area of your throat. Maybe like when you're screaming for a long time, your throat will start getting sore. Like when I'm screaming for hours.
Just sitting there recording stuff, my throat will start to hurt. But it shouldn't hurt that bad at all, depending on you. Liquids. Water is good depending on who you are.
if you're like me and you're still in the middle of puberty, which I kind of got over it, I'm in a stop stage with my voice. I got lucky. My voice stopped changing for a while. So that's how I learned to sing, and it's going to suck because I'm going to have to relearn how to sing and probably maybe kind of relearn how to scream as my voice gets deeper. So, like, if you listen to some of my old videos, those are, like, a little over a year ago. Like, some of them are around this time last year. That's how much changed. It's just retarded. I have basically relearned how to talk. So, but yeah, like, if you're like me and having issues with your voice changing, definitely, you're not going to want to drink water. Especially if you're singing, because water is the devil when your voice is changing. Like, because you do not want your throat to be super clear. Because like, okay, so are any of you reed players out there? I'm a saxophonist personally. Have you ever tried to play just for fun? Put your reed on your instrument and try to blow through it when it's not wet. You can't. I mean, it doesn't work. And like that's just like a dry throat too. But water kind of has that same effect. So like, I recommend milk. Or like cookies and cream ice cream. That is really good. Like all ice cream is pretty good to like get that filmy crap on your throat for singing and screaming. It just kind of makes you feel better. And like thick milk, definitely thick milk. And so that's basically all my tips for you. I'll explain. It's gonna be like your first scream is not gonna sound very good. Like it's gonna be a kind of a middle. Like, once you get it formed even, like, once you get your screen formed, it's still going to be a little bit in the middle. Like, it's still going to be there. Then you got to work higher. Like, you got to work higher! Oh, you got to work lower! And then you can do still cool stuff. Like, if you listen to something like The Fate, I highly recommend them. They're amazing. I like Craig, too. The new singer. Some people don't like the new singer, Craig. I love him. He's good. But I miss Ronnie, too. Hands down, I miss Ronnie. Ronnie's great. But some cool tricks. So if you listen to the song 10 Miles Wide, they have 3 vocalists very normally singing that song. The 2 people who sing the choruses and verses, and then the bassist who also does screaming. And that really cool scream that kind of sounds like is gonna like the way you do that. If you have a mic, you put your mouth on the mic and scream, and that's how it does that. It's just amazing. If you have a mic, just play with it. I sit there for hours and play with my mic, like learning all the cool tricks and stuff. So yeah, I recommend just buying a mic. And yeah, another thing. Bands, if you think about it, they scream in concerts and recording into mics. When you're screaming, I mean, even if you take your cell phone and record a scream, it's going to sound a million times better than listening to it with your ears. Like, seriously, just a microphone? Like, shit, I have a $25 microphone. Put it through my guitar amp, makes it sound better. Ran it through a soundboard, makes it sound a billion times better. It's just like, the microphone scratchiness automatically makes the scream better. So your scream... Like, I was really disappointed. Like, when I showed my teacher, like, he was like, oh, yeah, that's perfect. I was, like, pissed. I was like, that didn't sound very cool. And I went and recorded it and listened. I was like, oh, that sounds really sick. So, yeah, they do sound a lot better recorded. Like, even on here, they sound a lot cooler to you than it is to me. Because it's going through my computer first. It's not exactly what's sounding. It's like how my voice is different. Like, if you hear me in real life versus the phone, I sound a lot different. Everyone does. So, like, yeah, just record yourself. That's the best way. So just record yourself screaming and see how it sounds. If it's not gonna sound, it's not gonna sound great, but it's gonna sound better. Like on the first day that I figured out how to scream, I could pass for a good screamer over the phone. So that's pretty much all my tips. If you're gonna be able to cocky show, I'll definitely record everything before you show it to people. And then also, yeah, just water is good for sure, but it's not the best liquid for screaming. Definitely not. Thick milk or cookies and cream ice cream is the best because it has like that creamy, filmy crap in it. So yeah, just have fun. Remember, practice, practice, practice. It's a lot of you figuring it out. It took me a while to figure that out. Oh, and please don't do this fry shit. I forgot how to do it. I can't even do it anymore. Like it's like quieter than my voice. It's retarded. Like all those people on YouTube trying to teach people how to fry ice cream. Like, I appreciate that you took the effort to teach you guys how to scream, but it's really not screaming. Like, I can understand if you're at your grandma's house and, like, you want to scream through a song that you're listening to in the guest bedroom and you don't want your grandma to think you're the devil, then maybe fry scream because it's so quiet. But, like, don't perform a fry scream, please, for the sake of all of us. And just, like, don't spend all your time mastering. I made that mistake. I spent 4 months trying to learn how to fry scream to realize this is what I wanted to do. It's like, why am I not sounding like the people? This is a power fry or power